A study was conducted in February this year of 4,000 women and girls. And what they found is 8 in 10 women and girls had experienced some kind of online violence. This was in the form of messages or content being shared that was intimate without their consent, and trolling and threatening behaviour. I am in that 8 of 10. I was on a flight back from Cape Town in 2017. And on my landing back into London, I found that my iCloud has been hacked, and an intimate video of me and my partner at the time was about to be shared online for the whole world to see. And there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. And in this study, they found that 37% of women that had experienced such violence lost confidence in posting online, in getting involved in debates. And this was between the ages of 16 to 24 years old. I was 24 years old at the time, and I had lost absolutely every part of me that I'd known. My confidence was completely shattered. It's taken me over 5 years just to be able to stand here and share this story. And the reason why I think it's so important for me to share this story is because I really think it's important that we share this story of our women and for our daughters and to our sons. We need to highlight if there's 8 in 10 women going through this experience and the way that we live in this digital world, we need to highlight these experiences and create a safe space for women and girls to not be judged, to be able to open the space for them to be able to discuss the shame and the pain that they're experiencing. So a few ways I wanted to go through was maybe like, how do we keep safe in this digital world? Does anyone have a daughter or a son in the room? Amazing, so there's a lot of us. And is it something you're concerned about? Yeah, digital safety, for sure. So up to 41% of people share their information, vital information, with someone else. So that's passwords, email accounts, social media accounts. From the ages of 18 to 29, up to 59% of children in that age group are sharing their private information. And that's what happened to me. I shared my iCloud account with my partner at the time, so I had no control over what was going into this cloud. So this particular content was shared without me even knowing it existed. Because it wasn't on my phone, it was on someone else's phone, but because I'd given them my details, it's uploaded to a cloud that had then been hacked. So something kept appearing on my phone. It kept asking me to put in my password. And I was really confused, like, why does this keep happening? And obviously at the time, no one really thinks that there's a hacker hacking into my phone, right? Like, the last thing I would have thought. I rang Apple and I was asking for assistance. And I was really confused why this was happening. And I didn't actually realize that you can change your email address on your Apple account. So it's one thing I wanted to make aware of is keep all of your emails separate for when you're using so many different accounts that hold personal information. Also, make your children aware. Have the conversation with them. Have the conversation with your sons. If these images or videos are going around, it's only on the rise now, to not partake in such things. To make them aware of the long-term potential effects that it can have on these young women and these girls. Another thing is we have so many clouds these days, so be wary of your clouds. So for me, like, I'm not here to tell you to stop taking these pictures and these videos, like, I'm here for a good time still. Just be wary of where this is going. When you're taking these things on your phone, where are they potentially going to? Are they on your Google Photos? Are they on your iCloud? For me personally, I make sure that all my clouds have nothing personal on there. Whenever I'm taking something on my phone or sharing it online, the back of my mind these days now, and I think this is something we should all think about, is how would I feel if this was shared to the world? So I keep everything that's maybe personal to me on a hard file, so it's just on my phone. It's protected by face security and a passcode that not even my child knows, because my level of security now has to be really high. So on this note, as you can imagine, it was an absolutely devastating situation, and losing every part of yourself, you're going to have to start recovering yourself. And that's something that I found. I couldn't go on every single day. This led on to anxiety attacks. It led on to suicide attempts. I just really struggled on a daily basis trying to find who Lacey was again, because the version of me that left when that tape was released, she was gone, and she was broken. But I believe you're broken to be broken open. And I really hope that you find in this story that every downfall, the only way is up. So something that really helped me to recover from such a traumatic event, and I mean, I tried every therapy out there. I probably spent tens of thousands of therapies, and nothing seemed to work. And the one thing I found that worked within the last year was presence and mindfulness. And I love that it was just shared recently. But being and sitting with the emotions that are coming up, has anyone ever experienced the stories that the mind creates? And it's on loop, repeat. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. How dare you do this? You're disgusting. These are the things that were replaying on my mind constantly. And I didn't know how to press the stop button. And I almost I believed them. I became one with them. And that's what I began to believe about myself. So when I began to become mindful and aware of these thoughts, I learned a really interesting thing. That you're not your mind and you're not your thoughts. You're a three-part human being. You're a soul, you're a body, and you have a mind. But what the mind is telling you is not who you are. The stories you've picked up is not what you need to believe. You get to write your story, and you get to portray who you are. You get to design the character that shows up in this life. So ways of doing that, as I said, is really just being present and being aware and sitting through these emotions. And I really had to go through a deep, dark process of sitting with these really dark thoughts. I too wanted to run away. I was socialising with friends, drinking. I was actually a mum at the time as well, so I was kind of engrossed in being a mum, and kind of used that to numb the pains. But it almost got too much when the anxiety attacks came, and I couldn't run away from them any longer. And I realised that I need to sit with them. So I began to start doing a few minutes of mindful meditation, and it's something I really love to speak about because it's really changed my life. And I think the first thing everyone says to me, has anyone said this in the room? I can't meditate. Can you put your hands up if you believe that? I can't meditate. I'm ADHD, I've got an overactive mind, I've had it all. And I just wanted to share with you, it's not about quieting the mind, it's about being an observer of the mind. Observe the thoughts that are coming up. We don't want to stop them. Buddha says a really great story of Mara. Mara is the demon that tries to take down Buddha. And I believe these are the demons of our minds that try to take down ourselves. And what Buddha says is, he sees Mara there, and he invites Mara in for a cup of tea. And he sits with Mara and honours them like the guest that it is. And I want you to do this with your thoughts. You sit with them, you honour them like the guests they are, you respect them and you love them. And when the tea is done, you invite them to leave. So parting on this, I want to share with you a gift. If you'd please do this with me, I'd really like you to close your eyes. Thank you. Take a really deep grounding breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just let go of everything. Breathe in again and out again. Put your hand on your heart. Where energy goes or focus goes, energy flows. And I want you to bring to mind a really shameful time, a time you felt like you can't get over. I believe every single one of us has shame. There's always something in our past that we're ashamed of, that we wish never happened, that we wish we could change. I want you to bring that forward to you now. And I want you to invite it in for a cup of tea and honour it as the guest it is. There's a part of you that made this decision. There's a part of you that made that life choice. And that part deserves love just like you do. And I want you to love that part of you. Give it everything that it needs. Does it need a hug? Does it need support? Does it need to know it's okay? The chemical reaction of an emotion lasts 90 seconds. After that is the brain on replay, looping emotional hurt experiences. And we're living with that every single day. So I want you to breathe through this pain. Accept it, allow it, Don't need to label it or judge it. It doesn't even matter where it came from. Just witness that it's there. It wants to be heard and it wants to be seen. Then we just take 3 deep clearing breaths. Once you feel it begin to neutralize. This is my favorite part of this exercise, and I do this a couple of times a day. I actually set an alarm in my phone 3 times a day to check in, and I really advise that you do the same. And to do this short exercise for just 2 minutes to let go of anything that may be dragging you down in your day. You all look so beautiful and free. I'm so happy. It is really easy to release trapped trauma. We just didn't know that it was possible, or that it's even there. And I really wanted to give you this gift before I leave you all, because we have 2 options in life. You can either choose to be the victim of your story, or you can be the warrior of your story, but you can't be both. And in order to be the warrior, you have to take radical responsibility. And by taking radical responsibility, it means that you take ownership for every action that you've done, and take ownership of every emotion that you are feeling and you're exploring. So guys, I feel I've given you your weapons, and you've got your shield. I just want to send you so much love. You're a warrior now ready for the battle of life. Thank you.